Hello, good morning, and welcome to Training Tuesdays, Getting Started with Vendasta, our bi-weekly series here. Today, we are going to be going over Partner Center setup. We're going to do some high-level overview of this. If at any point in time you feel like you need to get some more sessions, get some deep diving into the actual platform setup and how to operate it, we do offer onboarding sessions at $250 per session, but there are bulk pricing available. So if you leave this session feeling like maybe I'd like a little bit more, that's definitely something that you can talk to your AE about. If you are concerned about, am I paying attention? Did I miss something? What's going on? This call is recorded, and there will be a link in the follow-up email on this call, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to have a little Q&A session at the end of the presentation, so we hope to get to all of your questions and answer them as quickly as we can. So don't feel like you can't put questions in the chat. We do ask you that you put them in the Q&A section of the screen rather than just in the chat box, though, so it's easier for us to moderate and keep track of that. And you will have access to these webinar recordings, so you can also always go back and replay. Once we get done with our little introductions here, I'll go through a short, probably 15, maybe 20-minute presentation about setup. And then once that's done, we have the Q&As that we'll do. A little introduction as to who's all on the call here to help support you guys today. We've got the onboarding team lead extravaganza, wonderful woman, Haley Babich. We've got my partner in crime and my colleague here, Nathan Jaworski. And then myself, I'm Allie Moore. So why don't we just jump right in? So this is our demo platform. So there might be some things that are slightly different than your platform that you would have, but we're going to talk through it and I'll make it all make sense. So the first thing I really wanted to point out is that you have this little question mark on the top right hand side of your screen. And in this question mark, you have access to, as it pops up here, calling for support, live chat for support, submitting tickets, anything like that. But most importantly, we have this Vendasta AI assisted chatbot. So you can type in questions like how to add company, and the chatbot will then spit out an answer for you, explaining to you how to do it, and it'll also provide you with some resource articles, which will be really useful as well. It's taking just a brief minute here because I am working from home, so I do apologize for the little delay, but here's the resource article and a quick explanation. So if you guys ever run into any problems or have any concerns, this AI chatbot is here to help. All right, let's jump into setting up your platform. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your logo. You just click on the logo box over here on the top left-hand side of the screen. And when you're in there, you put in your company name. You can pick your theme, whether you want it light or dark. You can set up your app theme, which is your business application for your client's portal. And you can, again, select default or light or dark. You can upload your logos in here. You can also upload the company avatar. So this is for when your clients are downloading the business app onto, say, their iPhone. It has your little logo icon on there so they know exactly where they're going when they click on it. And then the favicon, those are those little icons in the tabs at the top of your website browser on the web page so that they know this is the site that I'm on. You can also go in and edit the color by simply clicking on a water dropper, clicking and dragging it to any selection of your logo that you would like, and it'll automatically update the primary color. So that's just a quick overview on your branding. The next thing we're going to look at is your email settings. So over here on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to want to click on marketing. And then you're going to want to click on email settings. And what this is going to do is this is going to allow us to get our system synced up with your system, your domain, so that emails aren't being bounced as spam or flagged and going into the trash boxes. We want to make sure when you're sending emails from the platform that they're going through as efficiently as possible. If you don't set this up, the emails that come from the platform that you send will just be like an SMB email and can trigger spam warnings and things like that. So this is important to do. So first thing you'll want to do is put in the sender name. Now, if you're a company with with multiple users that are going to be in the platform, typically the company name is best. But if you're a solopreneur and it's just you could put your own name in there as the sender. Then you're going to want to make sure you put in a reply email address. Now, this typically should be something that's accessed often. It can be like an info at or an admin at, or again, if you're like a solopreneur and you've just got your own email, you can pop that in there and then we would click save. The next thing you're going to want to do is click use my own email domain here, and you're going to select that. You would put your domain in here. Now, we already have a domain set up, so it's not going to bring the pop-up. Um, but you would select the domain that you'd like to use. And then what it's going to do is it's actually going to pop up a bunch of DNS records. Now, you just need to plug these into your system. You're not removing any records. You're not changing anything. You're simply adding 2 existing records. And again, if you're not sure how to do that, our little AI Assist chatbot over here on the top right-hand side can help. Or you can always go through our support channels with the question mark there. The next little thing that we're going to look at here is your My Team settings. So we're going to go to administration on the left-hand side of the screen. Don't worry about the pop-up. It's just saying we didn't make changes to the DNS records there. We're going to click on My Team in the middle of the screen here. Now we're going to have a bunch of people in here because again, this is a demo account. So it's going to pull in a whole bunch of people. But what I'm going to show you how to do is how to invite a team member. So our team member is somebody you're going to give access to the platform for. So you're going to put in a first name, you're going to put in a last name, and then you're going to add in an email address. Once you've done that, you need to select what permissions you're going to give them in access to the platform. So if you select administration, you're actually giving them full access to the platform. However, that being said, if it just gives us a hot minute here with my internet to catch up, there's going to be a show more permissions options that's going to pop up under here. And once that show more permissions pops up, you're able to select that. And then you can remove things like access to billing, like access to adding different administrators, things like that within the platform, managing orders. If, say, you don't want them to have access to that, but you do want them to be administrators, you can do that. Then we've got salesperson access here. Now, if you're a salesperson access only and you don't have administration access, on the left-hand side of the screen here, all they're going to have access to is actually the CRM and the commerce tab, but within the commerce tab, it's just going to be proposals and orders. They're not going to have access to everything else. So if you want to just bring a salesperson on, that's a great way to go about it. And then the digital agent component here, this is giving somebody access to the task management system over in the fulfillment side. And what that's going to do, if you opened it in Task Manager, it's going to be your projects and the tasks that underline those projects for your in-house fulfillment. But we also use Task Manager within Vendasta for our own personal fulfillment processes with you guys when you guys order products and services from us. So it's the same system. So we're just going to cancel out of here right now. Then the next thing I wanted to show you is setting up your salesperson component. So anybody who is a salesperson or has salesperson access needs to set this up because this is what shows up at the bottom of the emails that you're sending or on the lower left-hand side of the screen in Business app when your clients are looking. So if you see over here on the left-hand side of the screen, we are in Partner Center currently, but this is for Business app. You can click on it and it brings you directly to somebody to chat with. This would be the same flow for your business app for your clients to have your information there. So what we want to do is we want to have first name, last name, and typically a job title, owner, operator, CEO, founder, things like that you can place in there. And then you're going to want to have the opportunity to possibly add a phone number so that you're easy to contact for your clients and an email that they can respond to. Then if you're not a brick and mortar, you would typically leave the address blank, but put in your city, zip code, what country you're from, what province or state you're in, and then you can leave it like that. If you do have a brick and mortar for your clients to go to, then we do definitely recommend filling in the full and complete address. Once you have that done, there's the opportunity to put in a booking link. And this is allowing your clients to, again, if they click on that lower left-hand side of the screen in Business app, they can book directly with you. Or if they're following up on an email, they can book directly with you from that email that you're sending them. Say maybe a snapshot report, which is something we're going to be covering on our next training session, which I think you guys should really attend. It's going to be amazing. Haley Babbage is going to be running that one. So you put your booking link in here. We do provide booking links within Vendasta. I'll show you that real quick and just touch on it in case you guys do decide you want to use our booking systems to do that. The last thing for setup in your Salesperson ID is throwing in a headshot. So again, you want to keep it professional. You want to make sure it's really clean. There's a lot of options for like AI generated headshots and things like that that you can put in there. And then you would click save at the bottom. So just touching on the meeting links that you're able to create. Now, I can't do that in this demo site, but what you would do is you would click into CRM on the left-hand side of the screen, and you would click on My Meetings. And this will connect with your Google or your Outlook, and it'll sync the calendars, and it'll automatically create a standard 3 booking links. It'll be a 15-minute, a 30-minute, and a 60-minute booking link. But then on the top right-hand side of your meeting screen, it says meeting event type with a little plus sign. You could create any type of meeting you want. Say you want to have consultations just on Tuesdays to Thursdays from 10 to 5. You can set that in your calendar specifically for that. And keeping in mind, our meeting links will also respect what's already in your calendar, so you won't get double booked or anything like that. We'll just take a quick peek at our AI chatbot here. Now, in our last session, Nathan Jaworski went through all of the AI setup. So I'm just going to do a really quick, brief overview of what you can do with your AI chatbot. We're going to click configure here. And again, we'll just wait for this to pull up. You can update your logo or your image here. You know, an AI generated headshot works great. Typically, we find female names seem to register a little bit better with the general public, but you could always put your company name like Mountain Media Chat, things like that. We do have a purpose already built into our chatbot so that you can use them out of the box ready to go. Just as a quick little bit of information, if you want to add purpose to your chatbot, you would simply put in 2 hashtags and start a new line. Then if you had something that was in relation to the line above, like a for example statement, you would add a 3rd hashtag and then put in that line of information. And that way the chatbot knows this line goes with the line above it. We will already have baked in the capture leads as well as the provide report snapshot insights. These other ones have been added. Again, this is a demo site, but you can just click the add capabilities and it'll pull up options for you to add into your chatbot if that is something you would like. And then again, just quick add knowledge to your chatbot, click add new knowledge. And this is where you're going to train it on your website. You can train it to multiple websites, but there's also a file upload option. So if you have, say, brochures, pricing sheets, pictures, things like that, you can upload those. And there is a text option. So if you have, say, items, products, services that are not on your website, but you offer these, you can put them in text. Another really great way of using the text option is you can use, say, ChatGPT, and you could get it to summarize, say, the value of SEO for small and local businesses. And then you can take all of that information and you can put that into your text here. So now your chatbot not only knows what you sell, but the value of what you're selling, which is a really neat feature. So that's all I'm going to cover on AI chatbots for today. Again, Nathan, he covered all of this on the 16th. So feel free to go back and watch that video and get a deep dive into the AI amazingness that we have here at Vendasta. The next thing we're going to touch on here is Vendasta Payments. Yes, I'm sure I'd like to leave. You're going to click on administration over here on the left-hand side of the screen, and then you're going to scroll down to the commerce section. And you see Vendasta Payments right here. You simply click on that. Now, if you have an existing Stripe account, there will be blue text at the bottom. Again, this looks slightly different because it's a demo account, but there will be blue text at the bottom that says use existing Stripe account. You click on that and you follow the steps. If you don't have a Stripe account, there'll just be a button that says set up Stripe account. You simply select that button and walk through the steps by adding in your banking information and what it asks for, and then it'll sync up with the platform. Now you can use this for doing your billing subscriptions for your clients so they're automatically being charged or debited. You can use this for setting your invoices, anything like that. It's all within one place, kind of eliminates the need to go anywhere else, and just keeps it localized within the Vendasta platform so it's easy for you to use and operate. The last little thing we're going to look at here is adding accounts or adding companies, sorry, into the CRM. People often ask, what is the difference between the companies and accounts? Well, companies in the platform are your prospecting companies. These are the people that you're working on, that you're nurturing, and you're pushing towards making that deal. Accounts are those that you're going to be making activations of products and orders on, and that you're going to be processing payment on if you decide to use Vendasta Payments with the platform. So accounts are more for when the sale's gone through, and companies are for when you're working on getting that sale. So just to add accounts in the platform, say you already had a company in mind that you would like to add, you can click that blue Create Company button, and then let's go Starbucks. It'll auto-populate. Oh, if my computer will catch up here. It'll auto-populate a list of locations near you or in the area that you're looking at, with that company in mind. And you can click on it, and it's pulling all this information from Google for you. So it'll autofill for you, and it'll add in, the city, the phone numbers, things like that. Make sure that you have a salesperson selected. We want all accounts that are added to the platform to have a salesperson assigned to them so that the activity within the account is being monitored and tracked. You could always add additional salespeople if there's going to be more than one person working on an account. And then if you already have a contact, you can select a contact from your contact list and add it to the account itself. If for some reason you type in the business name and nothing is coming up, that typically means they don't have a Google profile. So then you need to enter the information in manually. Once you're done, you would click Create, and that'll automatically add it to your list in companies on the platform. The next way you can add accounts into the platform is by a list. Say you went to a seminar and you got a list of companies that want to work with you. You would click this white import button on the top right-hand side of the screen. And I'll just wait for my computer to catch up. There we go. And it's going to bring us to the import page. You would click the blue Start an Import option. And then what you're going to do is download the CSV template. And then you're going to put all the information you gathered, say, from that seminar you went to, into the CSV template as it is outlined. So you're going to want to put in everything in the correct category that it is suggested to in the template so that when you upload it to the platform fully understands the information that it's been given. It's also very important to put the contacts and the companies within the same lines of the template as it asks, because if you upload the contacts and then upload the companies, unfortunately, our platform won't know which contact goes with which company, and that will create a lot of manual work for you connecting the two together. Once you have that done, it'll prompt you to either like add them to a list or you could tag them, seminar, things like that. And then they will be loaded into your companies in the CRM. The third and final way you can add accounts or companies, sorry, into the CRM is to click Find Leads here. And what this is going to do is it's going to be a great prospecting tool. It's actually really powerful for you guys to utilize in a way to bring those leads into the platform for you. So you could type in, say, coffee shop near me, and it's going to pull in all of the coffee shops near you, or not all of them, 20, the first 20 near you. Sorry about that. I live a little bit out of town, so I'm interested to see how many it pulls in for me. Oh, it did pretty good. Um, and you can take these leads and you can see if they've got a good Google review rating. You can see how many reviews they have. You can see if they have a Google business profile claimed. You can see if they have a website. So, hey, you look at this guy, he doesn't have a website. Maybe that's some low hanging fruit for you that you would be able to then utilize and bring into the platform. So you can click on the box, and then at the very bottom of the screen there is the create the company, and then that would add them to your company list. So those are all of the points that I wanted to kind of cover today with us in the platform. Would you guys have any questions that you'd like to go over now?
We didn't have a ton of questions throughout the session. If anyone has a question now for the team, feel free to toss it in the Q&A section, and we'll have Ali answer it live. She can go back into the platform and showcase anything that you have questions about. So feel free to toss those in there. We'll leave this open for a couple more minutes as people think on those questions. I also just tossed the link to our previous recordings into the chat, and we'll toss it up on the screen here as well. The link goes to our session from last week, which was Nathan's on the chat receptionist. Once we get the recording from this system, we will add today's recording in that as a playlist for Training Tuesdays as well.
The other thing to note is sometimes it's hard to have a question at your beck and call. Sometimes you can't think of one. And if you think of one later, you've got a lot of great resources available to you, no matter what subscription tier you're on. First and foremost is that wonderful AI virtual assistant. Just click that purple star in the top corner of your partner center, and it is great at giving you quick, accurate, helpful answers to most of your questions. And then if you want to speak to a human beyond that, you can always reach out to our 24/7 support team by emailing support@vendasta.com. You can also reach out to your Vendasta salesperson, or if you've purchased an onboarding project, you can reach out to one of your friendly neighborhood onboarding specialists here in the call.
Thanks, guys.
We
No
did get a
questions.
question from Eric that I will toss on the screen. But Eric, we might need a little bit more context on what you mean for this one. Turn off that CTA there. How to make a business app if you didn't do it. Ali, you can give maybe a quick highlight on that connection in the platform of how people get access to business app. And then Eric, if you need more context, feel free to toss it in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So Business App is, again, your client's facing portal. So what happens is when you've got a company in the CRM that has then become an account because you've made that deal, you've closed that deal, you would go into accounts, manage accounts, and once they're an account, they have a business app. You choose whether or not to give them access to the business app simply by adding them as a user and then giving them access through that. I'm just waiting for this to pull up here. So we'll click on, okay, we'll click on this one here and we'll let it populate. So what you would do is you would add a user, and we're just going to click the blue create a user, and we're going to put Ali Moore and my email. And then you see here at the bottom, it says send welcome email. If you click that, what it's going to do is it's going to send them an email that's going to prompt them to have access to the business app, and it'll ask them to put in their password, and that's going to be their password for their access to their business app. Once the client has access to the business app, they can simply log in. You at any point in time, whether or not they have access, can click this open in, and click Business App, and you can log in that way. There's a couple different ways to log into Business App. I won't get into all of them here, but that's one of the quickest ways to do it for a high level. This is the Business App portal once it pulls up here for us. For how to add people to the Business App as well as how to access it yourself. It's thinking really hard here. Sorry about that, guys. Any other questions?
Yes, we got one from Stan Edwards. Just a clarification on the use of the CRM. You said the CRM is used for prospecting. Current active clients are under accounts, but shouldn't we also use the CRM for tracking communication with existing clients? If so, would that make the CRM for more than just prospecting, or is there another part of the platform we should be using for that information? Excellent question. And Ali, if you want to just kind of clarify for that.
Yeah, I would love to. It broke up a little bit in my headphones, so I didn't completely hear the whole thing.
Sure. Do you want to? Yeah, I've actually, if you switch back your screen to just look at our meeting, I've popped it up on the screen here as well. Back to SQL.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so CRM is used for prospecting current active clients under accounts. Should we also use the CRM for tracking communication with existing clients? Okay, so great question. So the CRM is going to be your communication hub. So that is correct to a certain extent. So when you've got a company in here, you can have an account tied to it for, again, monitoring or the billing side of things and doing that. But in the actual company side of things, you can go into the company itself and then you can track phone numbers or phone calls. You can track meetings. You can track emails. You can make tasks for yourself, sales orientated tasks, right? Follow up with client next week, do proposal by Tuesday, things like that. You can put all of that so that it's all tracked and managed within the CRM company side of things while still having an existing account with the client. And the account is going to be used for the billing side of things as well as the actual ordering of the products. Does that clear up the question a little bit more?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good overview, Ali. One thing I will add is where Ali was coming from at the beginning was the CRM is kind of the beginning of your journey with that customer, and then also the ongoing relationship management. But once you're into that billing relationship, anything to do with their subscription or their products or whatnot, then you're working out of the account. So you're going to ultimately be using both as you kind of grow your relationship. There's going to be business reviews you're going to want to do with your clients. There's going to be catch-up meetings or upsell opportunities that you'll want to use in the CRM. So the answer is yes, you're going to be using both.
All right. Any other questions today?
We got one in the chat, so I'll just read it out for you, Ali. What is the difference between impersonate and open in business app for an account?
Ooh,
that would be.
Great question. So the difference between impersonate and the open in business app is the impersonate is your view of what the client sees in the business app. So if you've customized your business app in some way, or you've limited certain access to different things, like say maybe removed access to the store for your clients, the impersonate lets you see what your client sees. Whereas the open in business app, that's the whole shebang. That's just everything as it is without any changes made to the business app. Does that answer that question for you guys?
Sounds like it, 100%.
Sounds like it. Perfect. Okay, great. Any other questions? We've got 2 more minutes. We could go through a couple.
Looks like we maybe have reached the end of our questions today. So I think we'll maybe call it in our last minute here.
Fantastic. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to walk through this with everybody today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join our little webinar here. I hope you found it informative. I hope you walk away with a little bit of extra knowledge and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, crew.